Often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws!
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Drive Broadcasting Network here tonight as we bring you live coverage from Talladega Super Speedway. The Cyber Racing Association brings you round 5 of the Drive for Autism Super Speedway Summer Series. I am your commentator, Sean Zulu, and I am joined by my good friend and producer, Dave Everly. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Sean. How you doing out there today, bud?
I am doing good too, thank you. Just glad to be back here finally with the Cyber Racing Association after missing the past 2 races. But I am glad to be back. But Dave, start off by telling us a little bit about tonight's race, please.
Well, Sean, as you said, we are at Talladega Super Speedway here for 75 laps. Looking at the weather, We got a 65-degree temperature, track temperature right about 73 degrees. The wind, no wind today under clear conditions.
And as usual, the drivers do have a 50% fuel limit. That is 50% for 75 laps. So we should expect to see at least 2 pit stops for the drivers in order for them to be able to make it. Although once again, that is 75 laps, 7.5. Well, just a little bit of a recap from last week's race at Daytona. We did have Rodney Wolford bring it home. Mark Jorgensen came out second. Dana Osborne third. Paul Servant fourth. Daniel Harrington fifth. Sawyer Ott sixth. Marty Ray 7th, Jason Kinzer 8th, Justin Levine 9th, Zachary Hale 10th, and that did round up the top 10. And moving on to our current season standings, we do have Rodney Wolford in the lead, and Paul Servant is in second place, but only 3 points behind him. We have 88 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. 3rd, Travis Stewart 4th, Raymond Rittenauer II 5th, Daniel Harrington 6th, the 8 of Dana Osborne. I'm not sure if it's 8. That's gonna Dana Osborne 7th, Thomas Labar 8th, the 911 of John LaBeouf 9th, and Roger Stewart rounding up the top 10 in that 10th place position. Well, going back to tonight's race, the drivers have all qualified, and so far on the pole is the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer II. And Dave, tonight we do have a very, very big field.
Yeah, we've got a pretty packed field here tonight, so this should make for some great racing here at Talladega. Can't wait to get it going, see bumper to bumper, door to door, 3 wide, and maybe even some 4 wide here tonight, Sean.
Oh, absolutely. The track is wide enough, and it does encourage these guys to keep those hammers down to the floor. There's a lot of room for error, and that's a very, very good thing, as right now the drivers are now gridding out, so we will give them a few seconds before we go down that list. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight for the Cyber Association Drive for Autism Super Speedway Summer Series. And this is round number 5. Once again, we have the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer on the pole, the 9 of Paul Servant 2nd, the 69 of Rod Ronimus Sr. 3rd, the 34 of Sean Boundy 4th, the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach 5th, the 71 of Roger Buff 6th, the 89 of Matthew Quick 7th, the 12 of Alex Bergeron 8th, the 88 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. 9th, the 65 of Marty Ray 10th, the 8 of Dana Osborne 11th, the 32 of Jason Eisenhower 12th, the 18 of Gary Champion 13th, 81 of Christopher Berry 14th, the 86 of Adam Eisenhower 15th, the 54 of Chris Akers, defending champion 16th, the 7 of Gregory Thompson 17th, the 66 of Bobby Tinch 18th, the 82 of Daniel Harrington 19th, and the 37 of J.R. Johnson rounding up the top 20. The 45 of Eddie Hawks in 21st place, the 19 of Connor Paris 22nd, the 122 of Davis Richards 23rd, the 35 of Sawyer Ott 24th, the 21 of William Flumholtz 25th, the 0 Dwayne Cooper 26th, the 3 of Rodney Wolford 27th, 09 of Austin Moore 28th, 911 of John LaBeouf 29th, and the 14 of Lance Marsh in the 30th place spot. 28 of Robert Groover 31st, the 5 of Thomas Labar 32nd, and the 13 of Matt Hoover being the last car to qualify in the 33rd place spot. We have 74 Michael Guest 34th, Nathan Davis 35th, Justin Levine 36th, Travis Stewart 37th, Jason Kinzer 38th, the 6 of Roger Stewart 39th, and Jeremy Funk in the 40th place position. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we do have a 40 car field. That is 4-0. That is a lot of machines. Dave, this is one of the biggest races we've caught so far.
Yeah, most definitely. We got a lot of drivers, a lot of talent. This ought to make it good. Might give some challenge up there to the Dark Horse guys that have been running really good this season. So this will be interesting to see and see how it plays out.
Oh, that's absolutely right. These guys will try and find fifth gear to keep the other teams behind them. As right now we do enter turns number 3 and 4, going to be going green for the first time. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for tuning in. Get your popcorn ready, get your drinks ready. It is going to be a bumpy ride, 75 laps, 7.5 with at least 2 to 3 green flag pit stops needing to be done here tonight. In order for these drivers to be successful, we will see a lot of pack racing as it is a fixed setup. So it does keep the drivers bunched up all night long. We do exit turn 4 this time by 87 Raymond now still holding pace with Rod Runmas right behind him. The 9 of Porcelain on the outside with 34 of Sean Bounty behind him. And their pacer takes a hard left off the racing surface. It goes down to pit road. And Raymond Rittenauer controlling the start once again. The green flag flies. They all put it down to floor. 87 Rittenauer with a heavy lead here on the 69 of Rod Runmas Sr. That 29 of Matthew Wells and back. We'll try and catch 69 of Rod Runmas here before turn 1. On the outside line, 9 of Paul Servant got a very good start as well with 34 of Sean Bunny to rescue already with the 71 of Roger Buff on the outside line with that drive for Autism. Paint scheme very nicely dressed, but the 12 of Alex Berger on there also in the 8th place position, and the green flag has flown. Lap 1.
Yeah, we are still double file here. They are running nose to bumper. The field, we got a little shaking up there going in the back, but we actually got a little 3 ride there with Rodney Wolford, but it looks like he is still going to continue trying on that outside to make his way up to the front.
He finally drops down to that bottom lane. He did realize that he was losing a lot of speed. He's trying to charge again. He's going to go out to the outside line right now. Most likely trying to convince someone to go with him. But so far, nobody's going to buy it. So he just rides behind the 35 of Sawyer out there. And we have a big check on the outside. We have some more 3 wide actually up front. Let's see who this is going to involve. The 88 of Mark Jorgensen here being pushed by one of the drivers here. The 8 of Dana Osborne. We have one driver jumping up there to try and assist them to get the outside line going. The caution will fly here on lap 2. We will back up and see who might have been involved.
Well, as we pull up our Dre Broadcasting replay here, we are going to take a look and see who that involved here as we rewind it. But it was a big wreck here towards the back of the field. Taking a look right now at the 28 of Robert Gruber, the 14 and the 911 of John the Buff. Started with the number 14 machine there, so let's see if we can't get him. That's going to be Lance Marsh here as we're going to rewind it here. Take another look here from our blimp view, seeing exactly what happened. The 14 running, the 911 gets up on his bumper. The 7.4, the 911 just gave him a little bit of a push. Got him bent out of shape, but the 911 goes up on 2 wheels and into the inside wall.
Yeah, very unfortunate for all drivers involved in that. 14 of Lance Marsh going to be smoking heavily, but was able to go down. Pit Road got his only backup car. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, these drivers do have a backup car. I did forget to mention that. So most of the drivers will use it, like the 14 of Lance Marsh, who is now rolling off Pit Road as we speak, but going back up front. 87 of Raymond Rittenauer still in the lead. Actually, we might have had a lead change. He is behind the 9 of Paul Servant. So Paul Servant just might be the leader once cross start finish line. So Paul Servant, Raymond Rittenauer, Sean Bounty, Roger Buff, and 69 of Rod Runmas Sr. rounding up the top 5, and everybody staying out. Nope, we have one driver of the 5 staying out. One driver going down pit road. That's going to be 34 of Sean Bounty. Most likely the strategy to try and work his way to the back of the pack to avoid trouble. And this gives us the leader, the 87 Rittenauer. Nope, the 9 of Paul Servant takes over the race lead here on lap number 4.
Yeah, most definitely here, lap 4 of 75. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is segment style racing here in the Drive for Autism Super Speedway Summer Series. Lap 25 going to lap 26. Once they cross the line for lap 26, the top 5 will get bonus points. And then also on lap 50, going to lap 51, top 5 will get some bonus points for winning segment number 2. Also, taking a look, the winners of each segment will receive $10 payment here tonight, brought to you by the Cyber Racing Association.
Yep, I'm looking at it tonight as well. The drivers who will receive some money. Our race winner will receive $15. The second place driver, 10. The third place driver, 5. Hard charger, $10. And driver of the night, $10 as well. And just like Dave had talked about, it's the stage winners will receive $10, and fastest qualifier, $10 as well. And tonight, that's going to be the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer tonight. And also drivers lottery, $25 to 2 random drivers. So it's going to be like a jackpot kind of thing. So 2 lucky drivers as well will be getting some payouts. So these drivers, Dave, do have enough motivation to get the job done.
Yeah, most definitely. As you said already, Raymond Rittenauer sitting on a $10 prize for being the fastest qualifier. Sitting right there in second position. That is going to put him the lead on the outside lane. The outside lane usually here at Talladega is the fastest lane. So we'll see how it plays out as they are now getting ready to cross the start-finish line here. I do believe we should be going back 1 to green, hopefully.
Yep, the lights on the pace car do turn off. The 9 of Paul Servant leading the bottom lane with the help of the 71 of Roger Buff here on this restart. On the outside is the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer. So Paul Servant and Raymond just pretty much switching lanes. And Raymond has the 69 of Rod Rodimus Sr. behind him. And that's a good thing about the first caution that we have. Every single time it is one less pace lap due to no drivers getting a wave around. So that's one positive thing about that. And these guys will be going green on lap number 6, and that will give us 70 laps remaining. That is 7-0.
Yeah, and only 20 laps until the end of segment number 1 here as the pace car is keeping them double file. Being led by the 9 of Paul Servant on the inside. Raymond Rittenauer on the second side, second row will be Roger Buff and Ron Ronimus Sr. Third row, Alex Bergeron and Mark Jorgensen Jr., who has moved all the way up into the 6th position. So good job by him as they are now coming here into turn number 3. Coming here through turns 3 and 4, getting ready to go green for the second time here tonight. 40-car field here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 39 cars on the track. So we had a 39-car field as we are now exiting turn number 4. Getting ready to go green flag racing once again. Waiting on that pace car to dip off. Pace car is bringing them. These drivers are getting ready to go green flag racing. As the pace car is now off, Paul Servant is going to bring them to the green flag here. Looking here from the start-finish line as these guys are getting ready to go green flag racing. Green flag flies. Paul Servant puts it down, but so does Raymond Rittenauer. He got a little bit of a gap between him and Rod Ronimus Sr., but they are making that outside lane work.
And Roger Buff right now going to come up to the 9 of Paul Servant, trying his best to give him a push on the exit of turn 2 to help him maintain that first place spot. And the 12 of Alex Bergeron is going to be of assistance on the inside line there. That 69 of Rod Rodimus Sr. finally catches the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer while being pushed by the 88 of Mark Jorgensen, who is being pushed by 65 of Marty Wren. For the back in the pack, 54 Chris Akers here trying to catch up to the back of this pack here with the 89 of Matthew Quick next in line or closest to him in the draft. And for the back in the pack, we have 37 of J.R. Johnson. And we have a lot of drivers right now trying to pretty much just break off. And Dave, the usual suspects riding for the back in the pack is the Stewarts. That's 6 of Roger Stewart in the 32nd place spot and falling off the pace on purpose.
Yeah, we always see these guys, him and the 77 of Travis Stewart, always running towards the back of the field, but somehow about midway through and towards the end of the race, we always see him up front. So they are just kind of playing their normal mind games here. Stay in the back, avoid trouble, and move up. Meanwhile, up front, sitting in 24th place, we have missed him. The 34, Mr. High Side himself, Sean Boundy, running. Right there behind, it looks like the 74 machine of Michael Guest, as they are trying to get caught up, and just ahead of them a little ways. Looks like we got the 3-wide racing up front there, Sean.
Some 3 wide we have here between with the two teammates, 88 of Mark Jorgensen and the 8 of Dana Osborne. These guys doing an amazing job, but they will need more cars. If they don't have enough cars up here, they will start falling off the pace. But yes, they do have some cars catching up to them. The 54, that's 52 of Chris Akers will be the 3rd car on the outside line. And in the second lane, we have a new leader of the second lane, 71 of Roger Buff, trying to overtake the 9 of Paul Servant with the 87 written now on his rear end. And they will prepare the 8 of Dana Osborne. Big run on the outside line.
Yeah, we are 3 wide here through turns 3 and 4. Running really good up there as they are bumper to bumper and almost door to door as they are coming here across the start-finish line here through the dog leg.
54 of Chris. Oh, we have almost had some contact there between 65 of Marty Ray and 54 of Chris Akers. They were able to stay off each other, but that does slow down 54 of Akers some more. So unfortunately, he won't be able to catch up to the 88 of Mark Jorgensen in time. They just might fall off the pace here. But he is trying their best to be of assistance of the outside line. 65 of Marty Ray, they're overtaking him. The 3 of, well, that's going to be the 3 of Rodney Wolford coming out of nowhere as well. Starting 27th, currently in the 14th place spot. The 8 of Dana Osborne will side draft the inside line to try and slow them down and pull himself past them. But so far, having no luck. It's only a matter of time, Dave, before they start overheating.
Yeah, these drivers gotta watch over the overheating. It is definitely a key factor, as these cars need that fresh air to keep that cool down. If they don't, and that gauge blinks long enough, that motor will go kaput, and they will have to go down pit road.
Yeah, that's time they would rather spend racing on the track than going down pit road and getting a new motor into that engine. That takes a lot of time if they don't have a backup car. And as for the back in the pack, I'm going to try and find that second pack. That's for the back. We have the 14 of Lance Marsh actually falling off the pace here as we speak, but he is being caught by Zero Dwayne Cooper, Justin Levine, and Dwayne Cooper right now is leading a pack of his own with Justin Levine, Travis Stewart, Gregory Thompson, Roger Stewart, Robert Groover, 28, Jeremy Funk, and 81 of Christopher Berry here falling off the pace, being shown 1 lap down in the 39th place position, being the last car here on the track. Most likely hoping for a caution because he has fallen off the pace quite a bit, and it's only a matter of time before the front of the pack catches up to him.
Well, going back up front here, currently in first place, we have the 9 of Paul Servant. He is being pushed by the 12 of Alex Bergeron. In the middle lane there, looks like we have, I can't quite see a car number, but we have Mark Jorgensen and Dana Osborne making a heck of a push on the outside.
Yeah, I'm surprised they were able to maintain that run for this long. It just keeps getting nothing but stronger. Their teammate, the 3 of Rodney Wolford, is trying his best to get up to them, to try to push the 88 of Jorgensen, to keep him on the 8 of Dana Osborne. Osborne tries to go down low, but he was not clear, so he stays high to let 69 of Rodman Sr. by. They do get hooked up. It's now going to be a 4-car push with the 54 of Chris Akers. Going to be the 4th car in line. Actually, we have a 5th car in line there. They're going to try and get a number on this. The 66 of Bobby Tinch, who is trying his best to get the outside line going. So, Dave, that's a good thing for the outside line.
Yeah, most definitely. It's getting that outside third lane working, but they have a lot more cars wanting to join them up there. So we are going to have 3-way battles here as they are 3 wide here coming into turns 3 and 4. Still being led. Oh, the 9 of Paul Servant somehow down on the apron. That is going to let the 12 of Alex Bergeron take over the race lead in the bottom. But I'm going to have to rewind it back here as we take a look here at the 9 of Paul Servant, see if we can see exactly what happened. As we pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay, we are still under green, but we are going to pull this up and take a look at the 9 of Paul Servant here. Looks like coming here through turns 3 and 4, he had the 12 of Alex Bergeron pushing him, and it looks like that car just wasn't hit quite square. He did come up and make some contact with another car, but he keeps it down on the apron, lets everybody go, and we are going to stay green flag racing.
Yep, that was a very, very nice save by the 9 of Paul Servant. It's very difficult to get those things back straight, one sideways at almost over 190 miles an hour. Very, very nicely done on his part, and the 71 of Roger Buff did take over the race, lead away from the 12 of Alex Bergeron, who was leading the bottom lane for a few miles there, actually less than a lap. 71 of Roger Buff and the 87 Rittenau did jump down to the inside line, and also the outside line did drop down to the bottom lane. Well, the third lane, dropped down the second lane, or the middle lane here. And that did feature the 8 of Dana Osborne, 88 Mark Jorgensen, and a 3 of Rodney Wolford. And behind they do have the 65 of Marty Ray, who then goes down low to assist the 87 of Rittenauer. And in front of them, the 8 of Dana Osborne drops down low as well and gives the lead of the outside to his teammate, the 88 of Mark Jorgensen.
Yeah, but that is going to leave his teammate Mark Jorgensen and Ronnie Wolford out to dry, as they don't have any help right at the moment. The 82 of Daniel Harrington is trying to get up there to give him some help, but there's still a little bit of a gap, as looks like the inside line right now is propelling. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, that's a part of plate track racing, as we've seen the 12 of Alex Bergeron leading for a little bit, and now he has dropped all the way back, running currently in 10th position.
Oh, some trouble on the track. The 8 of Dana Osborne almost goes sideways. He almost spun out. Holy cow, what a save. That was another bad bump right there. And Devin, I'm not sure if you can, but if you can, please get that on replay.
Well, as we pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay, we're going to focus on the 8 of Dana Osborne here. See if we can see exactly what happened. He was being, just a hard bump from the 71 machine, gets him down below the yellow line, but he is able to keep it going straight. It kind of shakes the field up there, as he is still being able to save it, so he's still in it.
Yeah, nice save indeed, Dave, and he was able to fall back in the same pack, so he did lose positions, but he is still in the lead pack. He can be able to get back his positions. Here, it's easier than if you were further back in the pack in the 12. Alex Berger, and they're falling off the pace on the outside line, being left out high and dry. He will go from front to back in a hurry, but he does catch a break here. Nope, he does not, but he is being pushed by the 18 of Gary Champion, who will go down low in the middle lane there and occupies his inside line, so Alex will continue dropping back like a rock.
Another new race leader here, the 88 of Mark Jorgensen Jr., now leading a couple of laps here. Daniel Harrington, new the leader of the outside. And look there, he's got the 13 of Matt Hoover all over his back bumper. And right there in the mix, Sean, the 29, Mr. Super Speedway, Matthew Walzenbach, running in the 6th position.
And Dave, speaking of Matt Hoover has come a long way here in tonight's race. He came from 33rd place to the 5th place spot. Very impressive before the first segment is even over. Well, Dave, these drivers are trying to go from back to front in a hurry, like 74 of Michael Guest as well. Further back than the 10th place position, coming from the 34th place spot, from 34th to 10th here on lap number 17. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the segments, the leaders of lap 25, lap 50 and lap 75 receive $10. So the drivers are trying their best to be the leaders of those segments, those 3 laps, 25, 50, and 75, in order to get a sneak or to get some of that $10 as a gift of, or reward of leading some laps here. So that is enough motivation for the drivers. And for the back in the pack, that 89 of Matthew Quick. Oh, it looks like the pack is catching up to a slower car. That's going to be the 14. Oh, the 14 of Lance Marsh, who did smack the wall on the exit of turn 4. He was able to bounce off it and stay out of trouble. Very, very nicely done on his part, but very, very unfortunate on his part, because that car has sustained some damage due to the contact with the wall. And right now, Lance Marsh is on the apron here, getting freight trained by everybody, but he's now back up onto the track, but he will lose that draft.
Yes, we are now here on lap 19, just 6 laps remaining to the end of segment 1. We are being led right now by the 82 of Daniel Harrington, as he is leading on the outside with the help of Matt Hoover there. Mark Jorgensen and Rodney Wolford are looking to take it back as they make a good push here. They also got the 71 of Roger Buffair as well. As these cars are bumper to bumper, I mean, there's not much room. You can't barely fit a hand in there, Sean.
Oh, yeah, there's not much room indeed. Those drivers on the outside line are trying their best to be as close to the bottom lane as they can, because once again, ladies and gentlemen, the inside line is the shortest way around the track. So with that said, you are better off being on the inside line. So the drivers are trying to go as low as they can to have shorter distance around the track to benefit themselves. And Dave, for the back in the pack, we do have a driver leading a second pack of his own. It's the second high side driver, high side himself, the 34 of Sean Boundy, 11 of Kinzer right behind him, being pushed by that 09 of Austin Moore being the third car in line here, and further back behind them, the third pack being led by the 911 of John LaBeouf, who unfortunately was involved in the incident that brought the caution the first time. He did get some heavy damage. He was sent flying, so he did end up using his only backup car. So right now he is trying to conserve it or reserve that car so he can be here for the end and stay in it to win. And speaking of John LaBeouf, he is being pushed by the 5 of Thomas Labar. They have 45 Eddie Hawks and 32 of Jason Eisenhower catching up to them.
Yeah, most definitely here. Unfortunately, as you said, the 911 of John LaBeouf, 1 lap down. Last car here on the lead lap is the 9 of Paul Servant. He has got some heavy damage to the right side of that Chevy Camaro there, but or the Impala SS, but he is still going, so he is saving his backup car here, as we are seeing some green flag pit stops. Nope, caution is out.
Yeah, absolutely, Dave. Caution has flown. It's a very big wreck in turns 3 and 4. 82, Daniel Harrington involved. The 8, Dana Osborne, Roger Buff, Roadrunner Senior, Alex Bergeron, Marty Ray, Matthew Quick, Adam Eisenhower, Michael Guest, Davis Richards, Sawyer Ott, Mark Jorgensen Jr., J.R. Johnson, Raymond Rittenhour II, Rod Newford get a little piece of that as well. Holy cow, what a big wreck. Let's back that up. And let's see what we can focus on here on the replay. Looks like set it up from the 82 of Daniel Harrington. Let's focus on the 88 of Mark Johnson, actually, on replay, if we can.
Well, that started with the 82 of Daniel Harrington, so we are actually going to focus on him as we rewind it here. Focusing on the 82 of Daniel Harrington. Looks like a little bump from him, and Mark Jorgensen sends them all. Sean, that's got to be a big one there, bud. That just took out a lot of cars.
Yep, it took out a lot of drivers, Dave. We had some lucky ones who were able to sneak past that with the use of the apron and the grass. But holy cow, we're going to have a lot of unhappy drivers and pit crew or pit stops. Actually, the pit road will be very, very busy. A very, very busy place, as the drivers will be going there to hopefully get their backup cars, because most of them still have them. The first wreck was not as big as this one. And that most likely will be the biggest wreck of tonight's race, but the race is still over. The race is young. So at this point, it is very, very difficult to tell. But going back up front, yeah, but let's see how many drivers pitted in. Yep, we had a lot of drivers pitting in, and 3 of Rod Newford decides to stay out with Raymond Rittenhour II and Rod Roynemer Sr. These drivers having more than 20 laps on their tires. And ladies and gentlemen, we now have only 2 laps remaining until the end of the segment. So once again, the leader of lap 25, or leader on lap 25, will receive $10 as a bonus.
Yeah, definitely Rodney Wolford is staying out to take that bonus points there for leading, so he is going to stay out here, is actually right now. So we had a lot of cars have to come down on pit road, even though they probably didn't want to get some damage and get some backup cars, as that took out a lot of the field there, Sean.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking also of Rod Newford, sorry, he does have a little bit of a ding in the rear end of the 3 machine. By the looks of it, he did make some contact there, or someone did ram him or hit him while the incident was happening in front of him. And we have some drivers getting away around the pace car. We have Robert Groover, Lance Marsh, and the 911 of John LaBeouf all getting 1 lap back and being back on the lead lap. Yeah. Also, Chris Akers goes around Dave and the 81 of Christopher Berry.
Yeah, but that's going to cause a lot of drivers to already have to use their backup car early here in the race, which means they are going to have to be extra careful here, as we are seeing a lot of cars getting loose here, as we are coming here to lap 24 of 75, giving us 52 laps to go, so just 2 laps until the end of segment number 1.
And Dave, this is a very, very touchy situation right here for these top 5 drivers, or for all the drivers on the track, for that matter. And it's because these drivers, Dave, are risking not pitting in so they can be able to lead a lap, or lead that lap to get that money or the bonus points if they're in the top 5. So the drivers here who are staying out will have more than 25 laps on their tires. Well, Dave, that will make things very interesting for them if this thing goes green all the way.
Yeah, most definitely. So that'll be a key factor here. Looking like right now just Rodney Wolford, Raymond Rittenhour, and Paul Servant staying out. Everybody else has been down on pit road. Also, the 81 of Christopher Berry has not pitted yet as well. He's got 21 laps since his last pit stop. But these guys are trying to get those bonus points for leading segment number 1. Right now, our top 5 is Ronnie Wolford leading, Raymond Rittenauer second, Sean Boundy all the way up into third, Matthew Walzenbach fourth, and Austin Moore rounding out your top 5.
Also, Dave, looking at a different point of view for the drivers who stayed out. If they're lucky enough, if the lights on the pace car stay on when they cross the start-finish line, the drivers will have one more chance to go down a pit road. But the pits most likely will be closed, so they will receive an end-of-the-line penalty. So they'll go from the top 5 to below, I should say, 30th place, or 30 through 35th position. So they will have to do it all over again. Or if the lights on the pace car turn off this time by, they'll have no choice but to pit in alone under green. So that's 2 different ways to look at it, and the drivers will take their pick. Well, moment of truth for drivers here across the start-finish line. Let's see what happens.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks like as the pace car come, they are getting ready to go double foul. I do believe we were going to go 1 to green, which means we are going to have a shootout here for the checkered flag, or for the start-finish line here once we get the green, because then the top 5 will get the bonus points. So we are going to have a little bit of a green flag run here for the end of segment 1.
And yep, Dave, the lights on the pace car do turn off. Some bad news for the drivers up there. We have, by the looks of it, actually, that some drivers there in the top 5 did go down a pit road, so they gave over the positions over to the drivers who just exited pit road. So right now, only Rodney Wolford and Raymond Rittenauer in the top 5 have not yet pitted in. They now have 25 laps on their tires, and now have Sean Bounty, Matt Welzenbach, and Austin Moore. These 3 drivers are the first 3 drivers off pit road under this caution. And all the drivers as well were involved in the incident that we had there, the big one, in between turn number 3 and 4. And we are going green this time by. Let's see what happens. And yep, we do have a lot of drivers going from the back to the front. Rod Newford coming from 27th and is now in the lead. We have Austin Moore from 28th to 5th as we speak. 45 Eddie Hawks from 21st to 7th. Justin Levine from 36th to 9th at the moment. And then 19 of Kona Parise from 22nd to the 10th place spot. And that does round up that top 10. Well, Dave, we're exiting turn 4, going green this time by on lap 26, and the caution has been extended by race control. So these will be our results. Ron Newford coming out first for this segment, so he will receive a $10 bonus. The 87 Raymond now second, Sean Boundy third, Matthew Welzenbach fourth, and the 09 of Austin Moore in the 5th place spot, and that does round up the top 5.
Yeah, we had a little bit of an issue there on the pace lap here, as we are finding it here on the Dre Broadcasting replay. That involved the 13 and the 11 machine. Not sure exactly what happened, but how the unfortunate is that's we are going to take a look here, focusing on the 11 machine of Jason Kinzer. See if we can rewind it here and see exactly what happened. It looks like the 13 was on the inside lane there as they were getting ready to come green. The 11 just drifted down. Not sure if maybe a mechanical malfunction, but it got the 13 up into the wall, and highly unfortunate, but that extended the green. Or extended the yellow, I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely, Dave. Very, very unfortunate indeed. And usually what happens here on iRacing, drivers do have technical difficulties. The screen might have gone black, or maybe everything might have just froze up, and he had no control of that situation. Very, very unfortunate. By no means intentional. But we are now back 1 to green this time by the same exact lineup. The 3 of Rod Newford with the 34 of Sean Boundy behind him. 87 Rittenauer on the outside of the helper, 29 of Welzenbach. But Dave, 87 Rittenauer does have some quite a ding in his rear end. Looks like he backed into a telephone pole. So hopefully the damage doesn't affect him too much. And the bad thing about having damage in the rear like that is that it makes it very difficult for a driver to push you because they just might hook you. It's very easy to get hooked.
Yeah, that shouldn't affect his top speed with the draft, but as you said, it'll help with the guy behind him pushing.
So we exit turn 4 this time by the Pacer will be ducking off. The Pacer taking the hard left off the racing surface. And the 3 running for it now, upping his game here, upping the speed, increasing the pace. 34 of Sean Bounty here trying to catch up. 29 was doing the exact same thing. The green flag flies there. Oh, put it down to the floor. The 3 Wolf puts it down to the floor. 34 Sean Bounty trying to play catch up. Caught slipping quite a bit. 09 of Austin Moore third place on the outside line. The 87 of Rittenhouse goes high. He'll be taking 3 wide. Looks like his damage might have been affecting him. So he decided to pull out of line there to try and avoid causing trouble. Very, very nicely done on his part. That's called great sportsmanship.
Yeah, most definitely here as we are being led by the 3. Rodney Wooford, Sean Bounty there on the outside making a push as they are, we got a couple cars kind of shaking things up, going up into the outside. Looks like the 34, Sean Bounty, is going to jump down in front of the 3 of Rodney Wooford, leaving the 29 of Matthew Walzenbach out to drive with the 32 of Jason Eisenhower.
We have some drivers peeling off. The 3 of Wooford peels off to go down pit road. Will he be followed? Yes, he will by his teammate. Looks like it's going to be the 88 of Mark Jorgensen. Let me get a confirmation on that. Yes, 88 of Mark Jorgensen will follow him down to pit road. And also Matt Hoover pitting, or Robert Groover down pit road as well.
Yeah, definitely probably playing some pit strategy with tires and fuel here, as these guys are getting up into speeds of over 200 mile an hour here at Talladega.
And Dave going back up front. We are 3 wide. 09 of Austin Moore going high and dry there. He will not be followed. Will fall back. And he's able to actually catch a break in behind. That's going to be the... Oh, we have almost had some contact up front. Oh, man. So much confusion. 81 of Chris Barrows almost taken out. Looks like a car got squirrely. That's going to be the 29 of Wozenbach, who got squirrely from the middle lane. Very, very nicely done on his part and everybody else around him. Great awareness by the drivers. But right now he will be freight trained due to that.
Yeah, he's going to be the... Oh, contact! Contact! We are going to be under caution again.
Oh, Matthew Welsenbach was riding the wall. The 00 Dwayne Cooper was involved in that as well. On his lid and spinning every direction possible. Holy cow. Let's back it up on the 00 Dwayne Cooper on replay and see what happened.
Well, as we pull up the Dre broadcast and we had the instant replay, Dwayne Cooper, Matt Walzenbach making contact. Dwayne Cooper going up on his roof into a helicopter mode here. So we are going to have to go into the cockpit view to see exactly what it was like for Dwayne as he went into a helicopter mode flying around the track. Well, that is going to bring out the caution here on lap 30, with giving us 46 laps to go here in tonight's race. We are going to be led by the 34, Sean Bounty, Jason Eisenhower in second, Eddie Hawks third, Connor Parise fourth, and Justin Levine rounding out your top 5 here, as I'm sure we are going to see some pit stops here under yellow.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will take our first commercial break off tonight's race so you guys can get a refill of your drinks and popcorn. We'll be right back, so stay tuned.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to round 5 of the Cyber Racing Association Drive for Autism Super Speedway Summer Series. Once again, we are with the K&N cars at Talladega Super Speedway, and still in the lead is a 34 Sean Bounty, 32 Jason Eisenhower second, 45 Eddie Hawks third, Connor Parise fourth, and 09 of Austin Moore rounding up the top 5. And looking at my stats right now, the top 7 drivers, top 7 would include Sean Bounty, Jason Eisenhower, Eddie Hawks, Connor Parise, Austin Moore, Gregory Thompson, Daniel Harrington. These drivers have stayed out, but everybody behind them did go down to pit road for some service. So 4 tires, full tank of gas, maybe to get some damage fixed. And unfortunately, we have lost a couple of drivers. We have lost, looks like Roger Buff, Michael Guest, Alex Bergeron, and Jason Kinzer. Very, very unfortunate indeed for all the drivers, but we do look forward to seeing them back again for round 6 at Daytona International with the trucks.
Yeah, most definitely, Sean. As you said, though, we are on lap 32, which just gives us right about 23 laps. No, actually less than that here until we go to the end of segment 2. As we were here under caution, taking a look at our race report so far tonight. 3 cautions, 9 lead changes. We have had multiple 9 drivers lead laps so far here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. 9 lead changes, 100 more to come. And so far we have seen a lot of drivers moving up here. We have a lot of drivers going from back to front. Eddie Hawks coming all the way from the 21st place spot to 3rd. Connor Parise from 22nd to 4th. Austin Moore from 28th to 5th. Gregory Thompson. I haven't spoken much of Gregory Thompson. He's an amazing driver as well. He's coming from the 17th place spot to the 6th place position. 82 Daniel Harrington, unfortunately, who had some mishap there on the track, coming from 19th place to 7th. And Justin Levine being the hardest charger this far from 36th to the 8th place position. And Bobby Tinch as well from 18th to 9th. And we are now back 1 to green, ladies and gentlemen. We are being led by 34 Sean Bounty. 45 of Eddie Hawks will be of assistance to him on the inside line behind him. On the outside, leading the outside is the 32 of Jason Eisenhower with the help of the 19 of Connor Parise. That's absolutely right. And Dave, some drivers were very, very happy to see the caution. The drivers who were off the pace, Rodney Wolford and the 88 of Mark Jorgensen, including Matt Hoover. I believe that was Matt Hoover on pit road as well as a 3rd while under green. So those guys are now bunched back up. And speaking of those drivers, the 3 of Woodford is back in the 12th place spot. He's not too far back, actually. He was able to gain a few spots during that caution, or during this caution that we're still under. But we do exit turn 4, and the caution has been extended. Looks like race control has thrown the caution for one more lap to get the drivers in the back bunched up once again. And Dave, let's take some time to admire these paint schemes. I'm focusing on the 00 of Dwayne Cooper as we speak, with the Radical Racing logo on the back of it, and Hippie's Paint Shop on the rear and the front. Yeah, it does show how much hard work these drivers put in these paint schemes. And yep, they do an amazing job. These are some well-dressed machines here. The drivers will try their best to put those in victory lane here tonight. And we are exiting turn 4, this time by. Well, Dave, do the honors. And that 45 Eddie Hawks right now catching up. Big checkup on the inside line. 09 Austin Moore backs off the 45 of Eddie Hawks to avoid causing trouble. 82 of Daniel Harrington had to do the exact same thing. And that caused a checkup on the inside, but they are now back up to speed here. They are getting sorted on the outside line. That 19 Connor Parisi doing an amazing job on the 32 of Jason Eisenhower, who does have some damage on his right rear end. And the 1, actually 27 of Gregory Thompson. Third on the outside, we have a third lane forming up. The 3 of Woodford, 88 of Mark Jorgensen charging to the front. Oh man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that right there is textbook. Coming from the 12th place spot to the 1st place spot in one lap. That was nicely done. That's one good thing about a track like this. If you get a good enough run, you don't need multiple cars. 2 cars are good enough, just like the 88 of Jorgensen and the 3 of Woodford demonstrated for us. And on the outside line, the 34 of Sean Bounty coming out of nowhere here with the 19 of Connor Paris. Oh, we have the 88 of Jorgensen gets spun out sideways. He goes around. Is the caution going to fly? Yes, it finally does. Holy cow, that was another bad hook by a bad push, I should say. Very, very unfortunate indeed. By no means intentional once again, but holy cow. Let's back it up and focus on the 88 of Mark Jorgensen on replay. Yeah, absolutely. Very, very unfortunate for every single driver involved in that. And that's one thing about these machines, ladies and gentlemen. It is easy to hook your opponent. They are very, very touchy cars. They are very fast. And with speed comes a lot of, I should say, instability. But the drivers here are doing an amazing job, trying their best to keep these cars under control. It is a lot easier to push in the trucks than it is with these Can-Am cars, and that's one thing the drivers forget. Unfortunately, we have lost some more drivers, Robert Groover and Lance Marsh. But we do look forward to seeing these drivers back again next week for Daytona International with the trucks. Well, going back up front, we are being led by Rodden Wolford, 34 Sean Boundy second, Gregory Thompson third, Jason Eisenhower fourth, and the 19 of Kona Parise in the fifth place spot. And we have some drivers getting the wave around the pace car. Matthew Welsenbach and Matt Hoover getting waved around, this time by including Dwayne Cooper and Dana Osborne. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this does give us some time to get a race interview in, so let's focus on the 19 of Kona Parise. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 19 of Connor up here with us. Good up there, buddy.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good right now. I'm looking forward.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Connor, you have come a long way in tonight's race, all the way from 22nd place to the 4th place spot. You were able to avoid the big junk. Actually, were you able to avoid that big junk?
I did sneak by. I did get a little tap from someone, but it was like 15 seconds of damage repair, so it wasn't too bad.
Well, we are glad you were able to stay alive, and by the looks of it, you got it on your left front, but we are glad that you're still being able to stay up to speed. And how is the car handling tonight, buddy?
I can't complain.
Oh, 10 for that's very, very good to hear. Well, do you have any strategies in mind if we were to go green from now on?
I'm just going to try to keep the nose clear and save that quick fix for the end, just in case, and just hope I dodge all the mayhem.
Oh, that's a very, very good sounding strategy and very, very smart indeed. And anybody we should look forward to seeing you with in Victory Lane tonight.
Thank you.
And that was the 19 of Kona Parise. And Adam Eisenhower as well, getting the wave around the pace car. I believe we do have time for one more interview. So let's focus on the 21 of William Flumholtz. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not able to get a word in communications with the 21 of William Flumholtz, but instead we will focus on the 86 of Adam Eisenhower. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 86 of Adam Eisenhower. How are you doing tonight, buddy?
Yeah, I have a copy.
How are you doing tonight?
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, good.
Well, buddy, we are noticing you're doing an amazing job of staying alive tonight. After that big junk we had in between turns number 3 and 4. How's the race going so far besides that?
Race is going pretty good. It's a little hairy out here. Trying to, just stay alive.
Oh, absolutely, brother. Doing an amazing job so far, so I want to commend you on that. And you have any strategies in mind for pit stops or anything like that?
Well, I pitted there that last time just to get some fuel and 2 tires. So see how it goes. Maybe one more stop with 2 tires and see what we can do. Hopefully it goes green and we actually get some good strategy involved.
Oh, sounds like a plan, brother. And anybody you look forward to being with in Victory Lane tonight, buddy?
Haha. No, well, my brother Jason Eisenhower also in the race. Marty Ray, the number 65. Hopefully they'll be celebrating with me, or I'll be celebrating with them.
Sounds good. Well, buddy, congratulations on being alive so far in tonight's race, because it's been hard for most drivers. We have lost a lot of them, but you are still here and you are headed the right direction. So good luck to you, buddy, and make us proud.
Yep, thank you.
And that was the 86 of Adam Eisenhower with his teammate or his brother. Well, it doesn't sound like his teammate, but it's his brother in the third place position. And speaking of third place spot, here we are now back 1 to green. The driver's getting bunched up, double foul, nice and tight. That 3 of Rod Newford on the inside of the 32 of Jason Eisenhower. On the outside is the 34 of Sean Boundy and the 19 of Kona Parise. No, absolutely, and ladies and gentlemen, we will see a lot of hard racing towards the closer we get to the end of the segments, because the drivers once again do have money on the line. The winner of each segment will receive $10, and the top 5 will all receive bonus points. So the drivers are trying to take advantage of that in case of any bad races, because all points matter. They do make a difference in the long run. Well, as we enter turns number 3 and 4, going green this time by, well, Dave, do the honors. And that 32 of Jason Eisenhower was caught sleeping and right now playing catch-up on the 3 of Rod Newford here. And the 19 of Conor Brisa as well was caught sleeping, so no harm done to the leader, the 3 of Wooford. But right now 32 of Jason Eisenhower catches up to him and backs off to give him a smooth push to avoid any bumper hooks. And the 19 on the outside line, Conor Brisa will help the 14 or the 34 of Sean Boundy propel past the 3 of Rod Newford on the inside. He does clear him, but he still decides to stay high. And for the back in the pack, 45, Eddie Hawks here just backing off the 21 of William Flamholtz here, trying his best to get away from this lead pack to try to most likely form a second pack of his own to avoid getting in trouble. We have some 3 wide forming up with the 18 of Gary Champion. The 18 of Gary Champion, the 9 of Post Service on the outside line, who getting some help from the 88 of Mark Jorgensen, who is trying to get back up the front in a hurry. Yep, we have some 4 wide. The 3 of Wooford was pushed down the apron there, but he was able to save it and is now back on the track here behind the 32 of Jason Eisenhower. And the outside on the third drivers who are third on the outside, 88 of Mark Jorgensen, the 8 of Dana Osborne, and the 9 of Post Servant have all cleared the bottom lane and dropped down and propelled past the 34 of Sean Boundy, 19 Kona Parise, and Bobby Tinch and take over the race lead here on lap 43. And up front here, the 34 of Sean Boundy jumps high to get a second lane going. The 4 of Johnson Levine will help him start it up with the 66 of Bobby Tinch right behind them. But so far, they are trying to catch the 9 of Paul Servant, 88 of Mark Jorgensen, and the 8 of Dana Osborne. And for the back in the pack, 89 Matthew Quick. I haven't spoken much of Matthew Quick tonight, but he also knows how to get the job done at the super speedways. He is behind the 45 Eddie Hawks, who is pushing the 21 of William Flamholtz. And 00 of Dwayne Cooper as well is in this pack. Looks like it's a little bit of a second pack. Actually, not really. They are very, very close to that first pack. So they're technically with the lead pack here. They are in the draft of the lead pack, so they can easily catch up if they wanted to. And also the 69 of Rod Rodmas. Rod Rodmas going nice and strong. He did start up front there with the 87 Raymond Rittenauer, and is now being shown in the 20th place spot with some damage on the rear end, but Matthew Eisenbach will assist him to try and counter it. And we also have the 7 of Gregory Thompson here in this pack with Matthew Eisenbach and Rod Rodimus Sr. Looks like these drivers just pretty much riding, but they are pushing 202 miles an hour. Very close to that lead pack. And Dave, for the back of the pack, we do have another pack. This one's being led by, looks like it's going to be the 13 of Matt Hoover, being pushed by the 1-2-2 of Davis Richards and 87 Rittenauer as well in it. And 2 of the 3 drivers do have damage. 87 Rittenauer still has the damage he sustained from the big wreck, the same telephone pole damage, while the looks like the 13 of Matt Hoover has the similar damage to Rittenauer. But right now, still doing an amazing job trying their best to catch up to that lead pack, pushing about 192 miles an hour. So they are pushing, they are losing a lot of time every lap. That 34 Sean Bounty does get the slingshot off turn 4, but he won't do too much. Well, I spoke too soon. Maybe just might. They will go ahead neck to neck here with the 9 of Paul Servant for that race lead. Let's see who takes it. Oh, we gave it to the 9 of Paul Servant by 0.02 of a second. Very, very close battling between these drivers. And we have the 3 of Rodney for ditching the 4 of Justin Levine. And it's not going to be a 2-car push on the outside line. Looks like 3 teammates have found each other. 88 of Mark Jorgensen, Dana Osborne, and Rodney Wolford. And that 9 of Paul Servant here on the inside with the 34 of Sean Bounty still battling him side by side. The caution does fly here on lap 47. We'll back up and see who might have been involved. Yeah, that's very unfortunate indeed, Dave, for all these drivers. So all cautions today we've seen, all cautions we've seen here tonight, except for one, have been bad hooks. Once again, that just goes to show how difficult it is to push in these machines. But these drivers still doing an amazing job, trying their best to push despite the difficulty. But going back up front, the 9 of Paul Servant still in the lead, 34 Sean Bounty second, 88 of Mark Jorgensen third, the 4 of Justin Levine fourth, and the 8 of Dana Osborne here in the 5th place spot. And Dave, something tells me the top 5 drivers most likely will stay out because we have only 2 laps remaining before lap 50. Yep, and pit road is a little bit busy as we speak. The drivers who you talked about who just pitted in, 34 Sean Bound being one of them, was of Connor Parise, Thomas Labar, Jeremy Funk, Chris Berry, Matthew Quick, Austin Moore, John LaBeouf, Matt Wasbach, Roy Rodimus, Chris Akers, Roger Stewart, Travis Stewart, and Raymond Rittenauer. All these drivers down pit road, but the top 11 drivers electing to stay out. And the drivers here do have all the way from 11 laps on their tires and up until 20 laps on their tires. So that will bring different strategies. It just pretty much shows how different their strategies are. And Dave, we have a very, very heavy mover here tonight. The 4 of Justin Levine from 36th to the 3rd place spot, gaining 33 spots this far. And Dave, we had one driver get the wave around the pace car 35 of Sawyer Ott. And Dave, if you can, please focus on the 35 of Sawyer Ott. His machine is beat up, but he's still determined to put down as many laps as he can. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, he just got one lap back. So he's now back to one lap down in 30th place spot. That is very, very good to see. That's a very, very nice paint scheme as well. Can't quite read the letters on the hood due to the heavy damage on it, but I can see Mississippi Pride on the front, on the end of the bumper, and USA on the rear end. But going back up, front of the 9 of Paul Servant still deciding to stay out, and for the back in the pack we have, that's going to be the 37 of J.R. Johnson from 20th place to the 9th place spot here, currently down pit road, getting some service. When spoken much of JR tonight, but he is here with the Autism paint scheme. Oh, absolutely. That gives us a lot of lead changes. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to change soon because we'll have a lot more drivers trying to lead some laps. And Dave, we are on lap number 50. So the top 5 drivers will get those points like you talked about. And speaking of those teams, we do have 5 teams here on the points, and so far the team that's leading is Dark Horse Inc. and Rebel Racing, not too far behind them in second. Checker One Motorsports in third, Sim Nation Racing in fourth, and Radical Racing in the 5th place spot here in team championship points. So we'll see those going up and down, and those just pretty much jumbling around the longer we are in this season. And once again, this is round number 5. So it's just the beginning. The drivers still have a long way to go. So if they have a bad race today, they will still come back tomorrow, because I know they can redeem themselves and make a difference in their long run. And we are now back 1 to green here. The 9 of Paul Servant with the 4 of Justin Levine on his rear end on the inside line. Mark Jorgensen leading the outside with the help of the 8 of Dana Osborne. Oh, absolutely. And David, makes me wonder, looks like we just might have one more pit stop. Yeah, we need one more pit stop for the drivers to be able to make it. So Dave, with that run, these drivers will have to pit in. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what they have in mind for pit strategies. Yep, and this now gives us 25 laps remaining. Well, once we cross start finish line for the green flag, we will have 24 laps to go. So it's gonna be fingers crossed. It might be go time for some, but not for others. Or just like you talked about, different pit strategies coming into play once we go green. But we exit turn 4 going green this time by. The pace car dips off. The 9 of Paul Servant ups his game here, ups the pace to tighten this field up or straighten them out. The 4 of Justin Levine here trying to get bunched up with the 8 of Dana Osborne doing the exact same thing behind Jorgensen, and the green flag flies. They open it down. Mark gets a better start than the 9 of Paul Servant, and that will propel 88 of Jorgensen here past the 9 of Servant before turn 1. They are clear. but they will stay high here because the 88 of Jorgensen and the 8 of Dana Osborne are teammates, and Bobby Tinchin not too far back behind them, third place behind them, going to be assisting the 88 of Jorgensen. Finally drops down to the 9 of Paul Servant, and I believe, yep, the 9 of Servant is a teammate of the Dark Horse guys, or the 88 of Mark Jorgensen, and the 4 of Justin Levine, the 3 of Woodford in line as well. They have a big checkup on the inside. And Dev, unfortunately, we have lost Jason Eisenhower, the 32 of Jason Eisenhower. Very unfortunate for him. So he is 9 laps down as we speak and dropping. But we definitely do look forward to seeing him back for the next race. But right now, Adam Eisenhower doing an amazing job on Bobby Tinchin for the race lead, trying to challenge the 9 of Paul Sir. Actually, that's going to be the 8 of Dana Osborne. It hasn't been updated, but this is 9 of Dana Osborne, or the 8 of Dana Osborne here on the inside line. And Dave, further back in the pack, we do have a second pack forming here. It's being led by the 7 of Gregory Thompson, who most likely will back off to pick up the 09 of Austin Moore. Yes, they do back off to pick him up. And in line, they do have 77 of Travis Stewart and the 6 of Rogers Stewart. Look at that, Dave. Since they do ride in the back for the most part, they were able to avoid the big wreck, or the big wrecks that we've had here tonight. So they do have brand new machines, not a single scratch on any of those machines, both the 6 and the 77 of the Stewarts. And right now they're most likely trying to charge to the front, or maybe even thinking about pit strategies if they still have to pit in.
We are going to step away here for our final commercial break of the night. We will be right back. Get your refill your drinks and snacks, because this is going to be a good one.
You wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show under the world of outlaws.
Ladies and gentlemen, to round 5 of the Cyber Racing Association Drive for Autism Super Speedway Summer Series. Well, we are under caution here, and I almost said Acrylic Art Super Speedway Series. That was last season here at the CRA. This one is a Drive for Autism Super Speedway Summer Series by Drive for Autism and the Cyber Racing Association. But going back to the race here, we are under caution. We had some contact between that was the 19 of Connor Parise and the 4 of Jason Levine. A little bit of miscommunication while going down pit road. Green flag pits were kicking in. Unfortunately, it had to end like that for 2 drivers, 19 of Parise and the 4 of Jason Levine. And speaking of those drivers, the 4 of Jason Levine does have some heavy damage from the contact. And the 19 of Connor Parise as well, some heavy damage on the front end due to the contact as well. But up front here, we are being led by J.R. Johnson, 34 Sean Bounty second, and actually 37 of J.R. Johnson is saving gas. Sean Bounty second, 00 Dwayne Cooper third, Connor Parise fourth, and the 82 of Daniel Harrington rounding up the top 5. And Dave, the top, let me see here, the top 12 drivers have stayed out. They do have less than 10 laps on their tires, and looking by the looks of it, the 37 of J.R. Johnson is saving gas, trying to push it.
Well, with just 18 laps to go, track position is going to be key. I don't know. I mean, it is a super speedway, but I don't know. I don't know if these drivers will be able to make it, but I think we're going to find out.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. And if it does come down to fuel mileage, we will see a lot of changes in these drivers' driving styles. We'll see a lot of drivers backing off. And being the leader will be the worst thing when it comes down to saving gas, because when you're the leader, you have your foot planted to the floor every single lap or lap after lap. But if you are further back in the pack, you're able to let off the gas and just pretty much let off. And the more you let off, the more gas you save. So we will see a lot of drivers avoid leading.
Yeah, most definitely. Here's we are just now crossing for lap 59, 17 laps to go. Pace car lights are still on, so we're going to go around one more time, hopefully get the 1 to green. So it looks like we are going to have about a 15-lap shootout, but we are starting to get to that point. Of course, everybody knows lap 75 is the magic number, but lap 70, 71, if that yellow comes out, we could end this race under yellow. So it's just something also these drivers got to keep an eye out for.
Oh, that's absolutely right. So the closer we get to lap 71 through 75, we will see the drivers trying to be as close to the front as they can, because once again, like Dave had pointed out, if the caution comes out, it will end the race under caution. And Dave, this does give us some time for a race interview since the lights on the pace car are still on. So let's focus on the 37 of J.R. Johnson. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 37 of J.R. Johnson up here with us. Look up there, buddy. Oh, I see your mic, but I can't hear you. Oh, still nothing. We will try and catch up with you after the race there, JR. But good luck to you, buddy. You're doing good. And that was J.R. Johnson. Unfortunately, we couldn't get communications with him, but we will try before the race is over. Let's focus on... Oh, we just might be going 1 to green this time by, so we have run out of time for a race interview. But if the lights on the pace cars still stay on, we will be interviewing one of the drivers here in tonight's race. And that 82 of Daniel Harrington giving up his 4th place spot to go down to pit road. Most likely figured out or realized that he wasn't going to be able to make it all the way. And if he pits in this time, yeah, for the drivers pit in this time, Dave will be able to make it all the way. So these drivers are trying their best to be safe rather than being sorry when they do end up running out of gas. But going back up front, the lights on the pace car still stay on. So we have one more lap here of pacing. That does give us some time for an interview. Let's see who we can focus on. Let's interview the 911 of John LaBeouf. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 911 of John LaBeouf here with the Sim Nation Racing. Got a copy there, buddy?
I got a copy, yep.
How you doing tonight? How you doing tonight, John?
Give me 1 second, Dwayne's talking here. Okay, go ahead.
I was saying, how are you doing tonight?
I'm trying to survive.
That is the most important thing, buddy. And so far we have seen that you are surviving, moving up into the 6th place spot from 29th place. How's the race been this far?
Racing's been pretty tough. It's a lot of bouncing around, moving around, checking up and stuff, but we're holding it.
Oh, that's very, very good to hear, brother. And we did notice you were involved in a little bit of an incident early on in tonight's race, but ever since then you have been doing an amazing job keeping your nose clean, and you were able to avoid the big junk there in turn 3. What was your strategy until the very end here tonight? Do you have any teammates you're going to be trying to bring it home with?
Yeah, I got a teammate right behind me and a couple more just back, so I think we're going to try to hook up and see what we can do to maybe put us all up in the front.
Sounds like a plan, and that's a very, very good plan by the sounds of it. Well, brother, you are back 1 to green this time by. You have been headed the right direction, going from 29th to 6th. Great job on that. We commend you, and good luck to you, man. Make us proud.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
And that was a 911 of John LaBeouf, currently in the 6th place position. And he does have a little bit of damage on the right front of the machine. Hopefully it doesn't slow him down whatsoever. But going back up front here, we are being led by J.R. Johnson with Dwayne Cooper right behind him. Sean Bound on the outside to help with the 89 of Matthew Quick. And Matthew Quick here hasn't been up front at all here in tonight's race. But he is here when it really matters the most, which is less than 20 laps remaining. We now have 15 laps remaining this far, but once we cross start finish line, that will give us 14 laps to go. So it is go time for the drivers who pitted in, and more, hopefully for the drivers who stayed out too.
Yeah, it's definitely going to shake things up. So this is going to be a mad dash here for the checker flag here at Talladega Super Speedway in the Drive for Autism Super Speedway Summer Series, brought to you by Cyber Racing Association.
And Dave, the Stewarts have moved up. Look at that, going with it from last place to 9th and 10th, right beside each other. Actually, it's very good to see these guys here in the top 10 after staying back for more than half the race. But we are now off exit of turn 4, going green this time by. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hang on to your seats. And Dave, take it away, please.
As the pace car is now off, being led by the 37 of J.R. Johnson here for the green flag. Green flag flies. J.R. Johnson puts it down, gets a good push. 34 Sean Bounty caught sleeping a little bit. Dwayne Cooper trying to get to the back door of the 37 of J.R. Johnson to give him some help.
Yeah, 29 Matthew Rosenbach will be third on the inside line. The outside line so far might propel off turn 4. Looks like the 89 of Quick did back off the 34 of Sean Boundy. His car backed off due to a difference in shifting. But they will propel here past the 37 of J.R. Johnson on the inside line. But the 00 Dwayne Cooper the rescue of J.R. Johnson to help him maintain that lead off the inside and most likely of this lap. 911 of John LaBeouf, third place on the outside. The help of the 8 of Dana Osborne. And looking at Dana Osborne here, going from the 10th place spot and will be shown in about 7th or 6th place once we cross the start finish line. 09 of Austin Moore as well here when it matters the most was back there with the 911 of John LaBeouf early on in the race. But is now here when it really matters the most with less than 20 laps to go. And this now gives us 13 laps remaining. And for the back in the pack, 86 Adam Eisenhower still staying alive, catching up to Roger Stewart.
Yeah, most definitely here looking. We've got 13 laps to go here tonight, being led by the 37 of J.R. Johnson here, who has led. Oh, big wreck, big wreck, big wreck.
Big wreck indeed, David. Involved the, that's going to be the, trying to get a number on that. The 09 of Austin Moore got a piece of the action. 37 of J.R. Johnson. 89 of Matthew Quick. The 34 of Sean Boundy. Holy cow. Let's see who we can focus on the replay here. Let's focus on the 34 of Sean Boundy if we can, Dave.
As we are looking at the replay, Sean Boundy making contact there with the 37 of J.R. Johnson. That is just going to cause a big wreck behind him. That is definitely going to shake up his field here. Is Matthew Quick involved? the 09 6 of Stewart involved as he goes flying through the air. We are going to back that up and look here through the cockpit of the 6 machine as he goes flying through the air getting some airtime.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate indeed for all drivers involved. And Dave, from further investigation, that was a bad hook on the 34 of Sean Boundy there, which did cause the pile up. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, this now will be, well, I should say 2 of all the wrecks we've had tonight have been, well, all wrecks except for 2 have been caused by bad hooks or bad pushes. That just goes to show once again how difficult it is to push in these machines. But once again, very unfortunate for all drivers involved. But that now confirms it, Dave. All drivers should be able to make it here without pitting in.
Yeah, most definitely. So this is going to shake it up here. Lap 64-75, just 12 laps to go as they cross the start-finish line. That'll be 11 laps. So we're going to have a little bit of a shootout here tonight, being led right now by the 00, Dwayne Cooper, John LaBeouf in second, Matthew Walzenbach making his way back up into third, Dana Osborne fourth. Gregory Thompson, who we haven't talked much about tonight, is now running fifth. Travis Stewart running in that 6th position.
And 911 of John LaBeouf did get his wish. He was able to stay alive, well, at least for the last wreck that we just had there. But this race is far from over. We're not going to jinx him or anything. And 00 of Dwayne Cooper taking over the race lead here from 26th. Here on lap number 65, and this does give us some time for a race interview. So let's focus on the 13 of Matt Hoover. Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, I'm not able to get communications with 13 of Matt Hoover, but we'll focus on the... look down this list. Let's focus on the 122 of Davis Richards instead. Oh, well, unfortunately, I'm not able to get communications with Davis Richards either. Well, let's focus on one of the usual drivers here, the 97 of Jeremy Funk. Well, we do have Jeremy Funk up here. That's good up there, buddy. Jeremy Funk, got a cup there, bud? Oh, I see your mic lighting up, but I'm not getting any sound.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there we go. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Say again?
How are you doing tonight?
We're just waiting around. It's about to pick up, though. We got a brand new car, and we're going to the front.
Oh, sounds good. But how's your race been this far?
It's been crazy. A lot of weaving.
I can only imagine. Looks like that's some very good practice for your joints and arms there, jerking the wheel left and right to try and avoid wrecks. But how's been the car's handling tonight? Has it been loose, tight? Because we have seen a lot of bad bumps being given.
Yeah, I've been a little loose, but I've been trying to stay back a lot because it's really crazy up there, and I wanted all the squirrels to fall out of the tree before I do anything.
Oh, that's very, very smart. And that does explain exactly why you have survived this long and are going to be in it to win it once we be coming to less than 10 laps to go. And you are an amazing driver. We see you just pretty much keeping a low profile in almost every single race. But then towards the end of it, if you haven't been taken out, we do see you going towards the front. And are you working with anybody tonight?
I'm working with the 97 car.
97. Oh, that's yourself. That's it for. Well, brother, looks like you guys might be going 1 to green this time by. So we'll let you get back to the driver's seat, and you are headed the right direction. We are glad that you were able to get your lap back, and good luck to you, buddy. Make us proud.
Thank you.
And that was Jeremy Funk in the 26th place spot, being the first car on the lead lap. Well, last car on the lead lap, I should say. And by the looks of it, we just might be 1 to green. Yes, we are back 1 to green, being led by Dwayne Cooper. Matthew wasn't back right behind him on the inside line. John LaBeouf on the outside with the help of the 8 of Dana Osborne. And once we go green, we'll be having 8 laps remaining. So it is less than 10 laps to go. These drivers can make it on fuel. They won't have to pit in anymore. Or at least we hope not. The leaders up front do have 17 laps on their tires. And we'll have 8 laps to go. Yeah, they should be able to make it with all the cautions. So they were able to save under these cautions. So that's very, very good for them. But we are going green this time by. And Dave, the gloves are off. No giving, only taking.
Yeah, it's go time. These drivers know it. They want to come away with the checkered flag, get that win, get locked into the chase here. So it's anybody's ball game at this moment.
Yep. Even though the drivers are in the lead, this is a super speedway. Things do go from good to bad, bad to good in a hurry. Because the drivers, once up to speed, they do push over 200 miles an hour. I should say 200 miles an hour plus. And that is a recipe for disaster. If anything were to happen, these guys should not even don't even have a chance to blink. Because that's how quick things happen. Things do change in a blink of an eye. But we are going green this time by. If we have a caution in the next 3 laps, that most likely will end the race. Well, Dave, do the honors. Right now, the drivers are taking this the caution here, and the green flag will fly. The green flag flies. They'll put it down. Big check on the inside. The 29 wasn't back. Had to back off Dwayne Cooper. 8 of Dana Osborne rams. The 911 of John LaBeouf due to the checkup. But they are now green. The 18 of Gary Champion on the outside line. 4th place on the outside line. While pushing on the 77, or at least trying to catch up the 77 of Travis Stewart. Being pushed by the 5 of Thomas Labar. And in front of them, they do have 911 John LaBeouf and the 8 of Dana Osborne, who dropped down, but the 8 of Dana Osborne will go down the inside. They make contact. The 8 of Dana will be forced up the track 3 wide, but he has a chance to drop down in front of the 77 of Travis Stewart, and they do stay 2 wide. They try to propel past the 911 of John LaBeouf, but the 00 of Dwayne Cooper not letting that happen with a very, very good push on him. The 18 of Gary Champion, 3rd place on the outside line, trying to increase the momentum of the outside the best he can. Matthew Wilson back on the inside line. Here trying to catch the 00 of Dwayne Cooper, being 3rd on the inside.
Well, as they are coming up, 8 laps to go, 7 as they cross the start finish. It's go time. We are seeing everybody make the moves that they can. 8 of Dana Osborne, 77 of Travis Stewart, 18 of Gary Champion. But look at that, the 5 machine of Thomas Labar trying to make a push there. 3rd lane all by himself, no help, but he is still holding on there.
Yep, Thomas was trying to convince people to follow him. Oh, we had some contact up front. The 18 of Gary Champion and another car. I can't quite get the number from this point. But 5 of Labar, they're trying to hope somebody follows him, or hoping someone follows him. And the 19 of Conor Parisa comes to the rescue, to his aid. But right now, Thomas Labar trying to debate whether or not he should go to the high side. He goes back down the middle lane, and Conor Parisa will follow him. As that 9 of Paul Soran did clear the middle lane and dropped down to the bottom lane. The 18 of Gary Champion there fell back in a very big hurry. He did go high as well, doing the exact same thing 5 of Thomas Labar did, hoping someone would follow him, but nobody did, and because of that, he did lose a lot of spots. But up front, Travis Stewart here pushing on the 8 of Dana Osborne while getting assist from the 3 of Rod Newford, but they do go down low, leaving the 3 of Rod Newford on the outside. Oh, we have a caution here on lap number 70. We might have a 1 to 2 lap shootout. We'll back it up and see who might have been involved.
Taking a look, I do believe that is going to involve the 9 of Paul Servant here as we pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay. Looks like Paul Servant, the 45 of Eddie Hawks, contact made, spun around. It looks like Sawyer or Sean Bounty. Just those 2 cars really going to be the only cars involved in that.
Yeah, holy cow, that was very unfortunate. The 34 of Sean Bounty and the 82 of Daniel Harrington, both drivers did go under the 9 of Paul Servant while he was in the air. That just goes to show how much air the 9 of Paul Servant got under that wreck with the contact of 45 of Eddie Hawks. Very, very unfortunate indeed. 9 of Paul Servant has had a rough night tonight, and so has the 45 of Eddie Hawks, being involved in a couple of incidents here. And speaking of Paul Servant, he is down pit road right now as we speak, getting some damage fixed, getting some service on that machine. But going back up front, we are being led by Dana Osborne, Travis Stewart second, Dwayne Cooper third, Rod Newwoodford fourth, and Mark Jorgensen in the 5th place spot, and that does round up the top 5. And Dave, at this point, the only drivers who have pitting in will be the drivers involved in that incident, and that was only a few of them. You talked about only 2 drivers, so only 2 drivers will most likely will be pitting in this time, but everybody else should be staying out because they don't want to lose spots. They do know it's less than 5 to go.
Yeah, most definitely. We may end up with a 1 lap, maybe a 2 lap shootout here, as we are 5 laps to go, coming to 4 laps. But we are going to keep an eye here up front, keep an eye on that pace car to see if those lights go out.
And we do have 1 or 2 more pace laps here. So this does give us some time to get a race interview in. Let's try and focus on one of the drivers here. Let's see if we can get the 19. I believe I already talked to the 19 of Connor Parise. Let's see who we can interview. Let's interview the 7 of Gregory Thompson. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 7 of Gregory Thompson up here. Let's look up there, buddy. Gregory Thompson, got a copy there, bud?
Yeah, you got a copy on me?
Oh, loud and clear. How are you doing tonight? Oh, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, loud and clear, buddy. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right, but I don't know if my button's working so well.
Oh, not to worry, brother. We do hope that we can get this interview in. Hopefully it can work. But how's the race going so far for you? We noticed you were able to sneak past that wreck. You did go on the apron there and was able to get back on the track once that wreck was done.
Well, I mean, I got hit and pushed down on the apron, so I don't know who it was that hit me, but I felt it hit me, but I saved it. I was glad to save it there.
Yeah, that was a very, very nice save on your part, because it is very difficult to save it from the front of the pack, going 200 plus miles per hour. But how's the car treating you tonight?
The car's been good. I mean, I've been working my way up to the front there. I was all the way up to 5th place at one time, and I was hoping to finish in the top 5. I've got 0 incidents so far in this race, and I've been trying to keep my car clean, and I'm still at 0 incidents.
Oh, wow. Well, we do commend you on that. Congratulations. It's very, very difficult to have 0 incidents with that big junk we had early on in turns number 3 and 4. But we are glad to hear that. And by the looks of it, the driver you're working with, Rod Rodimus, is further back in the pack. So is there anyone you're working with or hope to work with to go at the front?
No, I just parked myself in that pit because I'm not really working with anybody tonight. So it's just a pit stall I picked just to keep quiet.
Oh, sounds good, brother. Well, buddy, you've done an amazing job so far. It should not end here. You guys might have a 1 to 2 lap shootout. So keep doing exactly what you're doing and make us proud.
All right. Thanks a lot.
And that was the 7 of Gregory Thompson, currently in the 16th place spot. He just barely survived that wreck. He got pushed down the apron, and that did cause a chain reaction, which did in turn cause the 2 drivers there to get together, trying to avoid the incident. And I believe that was once again 45 Eddie Hawks, and also get the other car, the other number. Right now going back up front, 77 Travis Stewart still second, Ward Newford third, Dwayne Cooper fourth, and Mark Jorgensen in that 5th place spot. If we do go green, all gloves are off. It's going to be a wild ride. We'll see some 3 wide, 4 wide, and maybe even some 5 wide, because all these drivers will try their best to occupy the same estate so they can bring it home.
Yes, we're going to keep eyes on the pace car. If the lights do not go off, I do believe this is going to end yellow here is we are 3 laps to go. So in order to get a 1-lap shootout, the pace lights will have to go off this time by.
Yep, let's watch that pace car here as we cross start finish line for lap 74. Well, look at that, Dave. The lights in the pace car do turn off. That gives us a 2-lap shootout. Well, actually, 1-lap shootout. So once we go green, that will be the final lap on start finish line. This time by, we have the 8 of Dana Osborne with his teammate Rod Newford right behind him. Dwayne Cooper on the outside assisting the 77 of Travis Stewart. Look at that. One of the stewards has made his way up to the front here from the back of the pack with his father, Roger Stewart. And speaking of Roger Stewart is for the back in the pack, being shown 2 laps, and unfortunately was involved in a couple of incidents there, but looks like Travis was able to sneak past them unharmed. And right now we are going 1 to green once again, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on to those seats. It will be a bumpy ride. All gloves are off. These drivers will not give anymore. It is now take time. Or I should say time to take. And John LaBeouf as well has stayed alive this far. He is currently in the still in the 6th place spot. The 4 of Justin Levine right behind him. Justin Levine coming from 36th to the 7th place spot. And Travis Stewart being the hardest charger here in the top 5 from 37th to 2nd, gaining 35 spots overall. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the final lap. Once we cross the start-finish line, the drivers will be getting up to speed and racing at the exact same time. Lights on the pace car are off. It's going to be docking off here shortly. Yes, it leaves the racing surface. The 8 of Dana Osborne does pick up the pace here, going green. This time by everybody getting bunched up nice and tight to their pushers or to the pushies. The green flag flies. They open it on the floor. The 3 over 4 already on the 8 of Dana Osborne. Dwayne Cooper caught sleeping and trying to catch up with 77 Travis Stewart here, who will try to bring this thing home or help bring it home. And the 88 of Mark Jorgensen here. So we have 3 dark horse drivers on the inside line. The 4 of Justin Levine, they're 4th on the inside. And 88 of Mark Jorgensen and 4 of Levine do have damage and are struggling to catch up to the Rodney Woodford and the 8 of Dana Osborne. Dwayne Cooper there on the outside line will try his best to side draft the inside line. At the same time, push the 77 of Travis Stewart. Let's see what happens. Double zero Dwayne Cooper here with an amazing push here entering turn 3. They will go neck and neck with Rodney Woodford. They might get that slingshot off turn 4. Let's see what happens. Dwayne Cooper trying his best to stay hooked up. They didn't get quite a good enough run to compete for that lead, but the 3 over will push the 8 of Dana Osborne here at the start finish line. 77 Travis Stewart with the late race charge. Will he bring it on? He almost takes 2nd place away. Did he take it? Nope, he did not. That was close. He took it by a nose hair, and that will bring Dana Osborne in 1st place. Roy Newford 2nd, Travis Stewart 3rd, Mark Jorgensen 4th, and Dwayne Cooper rounding up that top 5. Holy cow, what a race. These drivers most likely are glad it's over, so they can be able to finally stretch and get their thoughts back together. Let's ride with the 8 of Dana Osborne, tonight's race winner, and hopefully see some donuts. And ladies and gentlemen, we will have some interviews here with the top 3 drivers, Dana Osborne, Rodney Woodford, and Travis Stewart, so stay tuned. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have our top 2 drivers here. We'll wait for our 3rd driver, Travis Stewart. Get a cup there, Dana.
Hey, there, give him just a second, Sean.
10-4. In the meantime, we will start from the bottom to the top with 77 of Travis Stewart. Got a call there, buddy?
Yeah, Sean, you there?
Oh, yeah, I got you loud and clear. How are you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good now that that's over with.
I can only imagine. Well, we are glad that you were able to bring this, wrap the top 3 up in the podium after staying in the back with Roger Stewart, like you usually do every single race, and somehow still find your way up to the front when it really matters the most. But how's your race tonight?
It's pretty good. A lot of yellow flags, but we kept the car pretty clean. I don't know if I had any incidents. Just glad to miss all the carnage while I was out there.
Oh man, I can only imagine. This now gives you, well, you have had one win before, and so far in the stats you do have 2 top 5s. So tonight will be your third top 5s. Oh, your third top 5. So that we want to commend you on that. But holy cow, man, you had a late race charge. And tell us about your last lap there. It looks like you couldn't quite get hooked up with Dwayne Cooper.
Yeah, he was trying everything he could to push me. We just didn't have enough help on the outside there late. I appreciate the effort he gave me. Without him, I would have dropped back. Just need some more cars on the outside. Another lap would have been great too.
Well, we're glad that you were still able to get the third place spot. You actually were racing neck to neck with the 3 of Woolford for the second place spot. You almost had him there. If you had one more lap or had a little bit of time before the start finish line, but still want to congratulate you on the third place finish. And before I let you go, buddy, any final words?
Yeah, real quick, I'd like to thank you, Sean, you and David on Dre Broadcasting, doing an awesome job. Shout out to Dwayne once again for helping me in the race and also putting on an awesome league. Special shout out to the 6-car Roger Stewart. That's my dad. I'd like to wish him a happy Father's Day. And also my wife, Katie, for letting me enjoy this.
Once again, everybody, congratulations on your third place finish and also gaining 34 spots overall in tonight's race. And look forward to seeing you again next week at Daytona International. Have a good night.
All right, thanks, Sean.
And that was 77 of Travis Stewart, finishing third, gaining 34 spots overall, and having his third top 5 here with the Cyber Race Association this season. And right in front of him is the 3 of Rodney Woolford. Got a call up there, Rodney?
Yes, I do, Sean. How are you doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great now.
Well, so far, Rodney, looking at your stats, you do have 2 wins, 2 top 5s, and tonight will be your third top 5, so I want to congratulate you on that. And holy cow, brother, how was your race tonight? We saw you going from back to front and front to back all race long tonight.
Yeah, it was a lot of ups and downs. Obviously, we hit the wall in qualifying, so that gave us, not a chance to start up front like we'd like to. Always be sitting on that pole and keep ourselves out of anything bad. But it ended up starting 24th, I think, and we got to the lead within, I know it was like the first 10 laps, if not maybe the first 5, and we did well. We worked together the entire race, lots of ups and downs, but we managed to 1, 2, 3, 4 at one point, and could have probably held 1, 2, 3, 4 the entire race if we had green flag. But other than that, we still got 3 in the top 4 in this finish, and I can't thank these guys enough and give them a heck yeah for the job that they've done. I mean, they've done an awesome job. Only one guy, Paul, he got turned there on like that second to last restart, and other than that, we would have definitely been able to do a 1, 2, 3, 4, which is what I was trying to call out for from last week's race.
Oh, 10-4, brother. Well, we are glad that, despite that, you were able to come out in the second place spot with your teammate, the 8 of Dana Osborne. And at one point there, Rodney, I believe it was segment number 2, for lap number 50, you decided to stay out, and that gave you about 25 laps on your tires. And as soon as you guys went green, you and your teammate, Mark Jorgensen, peeled off, and you were the only 2 drivers pitting in, and everybody else was green. What would happen? What do you think would happen if the caution had not come out like it did?
Really, what I was thinking there, caution. We did not want the caution to come out. That we would have gave us our green flag. We would have had a full tank of fuel, been fine. 2 tires at the max, and after the cycle went through of everybody pitting, I'm pretty certain we would have got back to the lead. That's what I was banking on, and I'm pretty certain, but can't be 100% sure that that's what was going to happen. And when we did go to do that pit via iRacing, if the caution comes out whenever you're right there at the pit road entrance and like halfway down Talladega, it puts you end of longest line. So it hurt us in the long run, but I had faith in the team. I had faith in the whole group that we had there. So we grouped up and we took it and drove it right around on the outside there and got right to the lead immediately.
Well, buddy, we are glad that despite your interruption with the pit stop or pit strategy, you were still able to do an amazing job with your teammates, stay with your teammates. The most important thing here at Talladega, at a track like this with drivers like these who are very competitive. And I also want to congratulate you on your third top 5 and also having 2 wins this far. Before I let you go, but any final words?
Oh yeah, I gotta give you a thanks, Sean, Dave, everybody up here in the booth, Dwayne for the league, obviously, and all the sponsors on board. We got the pole award that we had for tonight, our national anthem sponsorship, our Drive for Autism, the Radical Racing Hard Charger Award, and the Radical Racing Driver of the Night, along with our Z's Custom Diecast Championship. And I want to give everybody here a big shout out. Everybody on the team, the group together tonight, man. Heck of a job, guys. Heck of a job. 1, 2, 3, 4 last week, and then top 3 of the top 5 tonight. Hell of a job, guys. And I want to give a huge shout out to my father, man. I really wanted to win this race for him tonight, but I had to decide on the better and give my teammate Dana a win. But happy Father's Day, Dad. Congratulations on the win, Dana, and thank you, guys.
Congratulations once again, brother. Look forward to seeing you again next race, and thank you for the kind words. Have a good night.
Copy that.
And that was the second place driver, the 3 of Rodney Woodford. But right in front of him is his teammate, the 8 of Dana Osborne, having his first win of the season. Gonna go up there, Dana.
Hey, how's it going, man? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey, I'm wonderful right now, man. I got this high right now. You know what I'm saying? From that win.
Hi, Kenny. I hear you, brother. This gives you your first win and your third top 5 of the season. How the heck were you able to stay away from all that carnage tonight? Because holy cow, we had the big junk in turn 3 tonight.
Yes, sir, man. Luckily I had a quick fix and I just played it cool for the rest of the night, and just rode until it was time, and then went for it,
Oh, absolutely. You did do an amazing job tonight, coming from 11th place and finishing in winning tonight's race and avoiding a lot of carnage out there and just pretty much being able to stay alive. But did you have any setbacks besides the caution that you were involved in?
No.
Oh, 10. Well, brother, we're glad that you had an amazing race tonight. For the most part, besides the incident that you were involved in, I want to congratulate you on your win. Any final words before we let you go?
No, I want to thank Rodney, man. He's a heck of a pusher. I've run with him for a long time, and he's a heck of a pusher, and I want to thank him for giving me that win. That was all him there, him and Mark and Justin Levine back there.
Well, also one more thing. Next week we'll be racing at Daytona International Speedway with the trucks, and the trucks are on open setup here at the Cyber Racing Association. Do you have any strategies in mind for there? Because the setups, or do you think the setups make a difference, or it shouldn't really matter?
I like, nothing against the fixed setup, but I think we've got a pretty good setup to, finish 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, sounds good, and that is something for the viewers and us up here in the booth to look forward to seeing you or teammates planning to finish in the first through 4th spot. Well, Biden, congratulations on your first win tonight and your third top 5, and look forward to seeing you again next week at Daytona, and have a good one.
You too, man. I want to also thank you guys for putting this on, and I want to thank Dwayne and all my teammates.
And that was tonight's race winner, the 8 of Dana Osborne, picking up his first win of the season here and his third top 5. Very, very commendable and amazing race here we saw tonight, Dave. A lot of action, a lot of 3 wide. and we ended up seeing the big jam. I haven't seen that big of a wreck here at the CRA in a while. Oh, definitely had seen it here tonight, and unfortunately, it did end a couple of drivers' nights. We look forward to seeing every single driver who was involved, who had a bad race tonight, try to redeem themselves next week at Daytona. And tonight we did have 24 drivers finishing on the lead lap, and everybody else finished a lap or more down. In tonight's race, we had 39 drivers starting, and that's a very, very big field. It just goes to show how good the racing is here at the Cyber Racing Association. And if you guys would like to be a part of the action, go to cyberracing.club and check them out at Cyber Racing Association. And this is the Cyber Racing Association Drive for Autism Super Speedway Summer Series by Drive for Autism. Also CRA and also Dwayne Cooper. Well, Dave, any final words before we close out?
Well, it was a blast of a race. We saw a lot of 3 wides, saw some 4 wides. So just an exciting race as it is every week here with the Cyber Racing Association. Drive for Autism Super Speedway Series. Just overall great race.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight here for round number 5 of the CRA Drive for Autism Super Speedway Summer Series. We can never thank you guys enough. Thank you for tuning in every single race. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so you can get notified every single time we go live. We do broadcast different race leagues, different days, different tracks, different cars, and different drivers. But the excitement is always staying high and gets nothing but higher with every single broadcast. So you guys have unlimited entertainment coming to you live. And Dre Broadcasting Network is now live 6 nights a week. So you guys always have races to go for. And if you guys can't tune into Dre Broadcasting, you can always check out our good friends Joe White with the OSR Network, which is Online Sim Racing Network. I am Sean Zulu and Dave Everly behind the cameras, and round 6 of CRA race will be next week at Daytona International Speedway with the trucks, and the trucks do run open setups. And the next broadcast is tomorrow night. We'll be live on the iRacing portal for round number 9 of the Precision Racing League American iRacing Sunday Series entitled Road Trip RV Rental by Paul Johnson, and that will be at Indianapolis with the B cars. Once again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Have a good night, and see you next race.